Hi. Welcome to the Daily Divine Mindful Mondays Live. My name's lisalyle. This is my channel here on YouTube. How is everyone doing? I'm a little on edge here. We've got the animals going crazy. Well, the reality of the situation in our home is we have a unspayed female who's 12 and a fully intact male who is 2, and the female is in heat. And so he's just being, stop, Rex. It's okay, bud. So welcome to Monday. It's Monday, everyone. Your Monday, my Friday. At this time, I'd like to just ask that I'm a clear and pure channel to bring through messages from Source Divine, loving and kind. This is the 4th time, Dawn, since we've had him. Luna, when she was younger, we used to see evidence of heat. And then for years we didn't. And then we brought Rex in the house. So Rex is going to get snip, because I can't do this anymore. He was good until yesterday. And I guess now she's ready to receive. And so it's been a little chaotic around here since I came home last night from the job. Anyways, it's been a chaotic week, hasn't it? We had our total full moon total lunar eclipse, blood moon in the sign of Virgo on Thursday. And it's just been like this steady sort of amping up of energy, and we're in this space. They call this the eclipse corridor between now and the 29th of April, when we have our partial solar eclipse. The sun does move into April on the 20th. So this Thursday, the sun is moving into Aries. Did I say the sun moves into April? The sun moves into Aries on the 20th. So that is the spring equinox here in the Northern Hemisphere. Sort of balanced day and night. And it's the birth of the new astrological year. As well, it's getting pretty close to the birth of the true new year. So we could call spring the true new year, right? The beginning of life, the beginning of another cycle. So, Virgo, because we've just had this full moon eclipse in the sign of Virgo, Virgo is relentless when it comes to detail and wanting to figure it all out and be all logical about things. And this is really not a great time for logic. It's like, with that being said, what we're really being encouraged to do in this window is to trust our intuition, to trust our inner knowing, and take action accordingly. Logic, logic, it doesn't feel like logic is going to get us very far at this time. It's more about the heart and what we are bringing to the table. We also had Mercury station retrograde on the 15th. So the day right after the total lunar eclipse, we have the ruling planet of Virgo going retrograde. Mercury also co-rules Gemini. And, it's funny because, you've got the twins of Gemini, and then you have the divine feminine of Virgo, the nurturer. And so it speaks that there may be this conflicting energy that we're experiencing at this time, heart or mind. And each and every time, I would strongly encourage you to go back to the heart and try to get out of the mind as much as possible. Externally, we're seeing a lot of people kind of losing their mind. It's almost like the collective marbles of the world are rolling around, waiting to find a spot to fit. It's ridiculous. So Yes. Here is the message that comes out for all of us is to remain in the light. No matter what happens, I remain in the light without becoming discouraged or angry. I observe, I take time to think calmly and wisely and go forward with complete confidence, knowing that I will succeed. Through constantly nurturing my soul, I become a strong and solid being of light. Yeah, and so, I agree with you. I agree with you, and there's I wholeheartedly agree, and this is why it's about personal responsibility and divine responsibility, spiritual responsibility. It's like to be the beacon of light, to remain in the light when the world is literally, it's like the lights have been shut off, and so many dear souls are living in the dark. And we can see that with the things that people are defending. And one thing that really gets me is this whole issue of men and women. And we have a whole segment of women. I'm a woman. I was born with, a uterus and other lady bits. And so I'm a woman, although there were times in my life in the teenage years and stuff, I wanted, I was one of the boys and, did the things that boys do, climb trees and this kind of stuff. And, like we called it tomboys back in the day. And, that's it. It's a phase and you outgrow. And unfortunately, the children and the collective nowadays are inundated with a bunch of bullshit that comes through social media that has them feeling like a misfit in their own skin. And heck, we don't need any help with that, do we? No, we don't, because most of us feel some level, especially through puberty, some level of discomfort in our own skin. Anyways, my point is we have this whole feminist movement, the women's live movement, supporting those who were born men and now, identifying as women. And it's so warped. It's like, women, when are you going to stand up for yourself? Come on. If this was happening to any other group in society, it would be called appropriation of that said group. And yet with women, we're like, yeah, no, that man wearing a dress and still a fully intact male like my dog is here, he's good. He's a woman. He says he's a woman. He thinks he's a woman. I mean, come on, ladies, sisters, brothers, wake up. This is where are all the alpha gentle male. Where come on. This is what the world needs. And a little more self-love as we move through these challenging times, right? And if we would encourage children that this is perhaps a phase, instead of saying to them, yes, God made a mistake. Nonsense. Stop it. Stop it. Good morning, Rena. Welcome, sister. Long time. How's it going? So if we could focus more on the self-love, the world would be a better place. And it was funny, as I was saying, um, yeah, I'm so glad that you caught me. It's nice to be caught. But I was hearing that song, What the World Needs Now is Love, Sweet Love. But it begins at home, right? And when we have a whole segment of society supporting insanity and delusions, and everybody wants to blame it on the president of the United States, knock it off. Especially Canada, are you okay, Canada? Are we okay? No, we're not okay. Right, exactly. Yeah, but Canada's lost its mind over your president. And we've got our government is full of traitors. Most are they're criminals, they're traitors. They sold Canada out long ago, and Canadians are so busy pointing to the United States and the president of the United States that they're not mindful of what's going on the home front. And now we have an unelected prime minister who doesn't even hold a seat in parliament, and parliament's been prorogued since the beginning of the year. So this guy, our new prime minister, is sitting. He's setting it up like Trump. You know, when Trump signs his executive orders, we don't have executive orders like that here in Canada, but we've got this carbon tax moron who's an unelected official, who's big in the WEF, who's a big financier, uh, around the world. And he's now, our prime minister, and he's sitting there with a gavel and this paper, and he's signing it saying that the carbon tax is gone. And Canadians are like, the carbon tax is gone. Bullshit. Parliament's not sitting. He doesn't have the authority to eliminate the carbon tax. And yet, we're talking, most people are focused south of the border instead of what's happening here within our own borders. And it's appalling because, Canada has, I believe Canada is a captured country. And it was a long time ago, and not by the Americans or anything like that, probably more like China. But nobody wants to talk about that because they want to talk about how bad the president of the United States is. Although I wish we had someone here auditing how the government spends our money, but we don't talk about that. Yeah, they're keeping everyone distracted, and people, again, people love to virtue signal. We saw that a few years ago. Stay 6 feet back, wear a mask, get your shot, do this, do that, stay home. I'm an essential worker. What's your excuse? This kind of bullshit. It's bullshit. I'm a child of God. That's my excuse. And it's not an excuse. It gives me a right to be here. And it gives me a right to be here and thrive. And yet here, yeah. Yes. And Rena, thank you for bringing that up, because that was a big message as I was delivering yesterday or the day before, I can't even remember, Aries season messages. For those who who are a part of the yearly messages program, or offering, not program. It's not a program. As I was delivering those Aries season messages, and even yesterday, I did an interactive message from your angels, which is live now on the channel. They're just short little messages. Pick a pile, go check it out. It's the most recent one. There was a lot of a lot of guidance coming through that's exactly what we're meant to do. Cut cords, keep ourselves grounded, really disconnect from, the propaganda, the television, this kind of stuff, and focus on ourselves, especially this time as we move towards the season of rebirth, which is this year. It's around April. It's April 20th is Easter. And this is when, so this whole window, we're at the 17th of March. So for the next 4 to 5 week period, this is about deep integration, deep reflection, self-care. Yeah, it is going to be intense. I'm glad you loved your messages, Dawn. They were intense. Everyone's messages for Aries seasons were intense, and I delivered one for Taurus season, and it seemed to lighten up slightly. Not much, though. And again, there's a lot of planetary alignments going on at this time in support of us. I think I'll do a live tomorrow night, and we'll delve more into the astrology of it. I'll have some time to sit with it tomorrow because it's my Saturday, and we can delve into that a little bit more. But fire under the bum. Good. That's good. But yes, this is what we're being all asked to nurture in our experience. I love myself and accept who I am as I am. It is not my ego that I love. Rather, it is what is divine in me, the purity of my heart. I take time to care for myself and to enjoy life. In doing so, I stop searching for external things that create only an illusion of filling my emptiness. And nothing external can fill our cup. This is an inside job, right? Just like what's going on around the world. They're all inside jobs of our countries. Like, a recent example that a shared trauma we all experienced was the 9/11 event. which was definitely an American inspired inside job. It wasn't anything external from the borders of the United States. And I know that's upsetting for a lot of people to hear, and yet it's the truth. Go into your own heart, you'll feel it. Look at how the world's changed since that time and what they have done to us here in, North America as a result of that. So it's really time to wake up and stop looking externally for a savior, whether it's a religious figure or a government agency or, anything. Perfect. It's about our own consciousness. And Yeshua, our brother, uh, he's not going to physically return to the earth. We are the second coming of the Christ, which is a consciousness. It is the light. It's the light that, is innate. We were born with it. And we are here to do those greater things that he mentioned we would do. We are here to flip the script. So I would encourage you, every time you see 666, 666, double six, triple six, or 4 sixes, I want you to remember, when you see that, you are the one here to flip the script. Flip the script. That's what we're here to do. Flip the script. And right now there's this pyramid, right? And we are at the bottom of the pyramid, all the little sheep, all the people who pay in to be a part of the pyramid, to and then there's the those at the top who control and govern all of us, and they're wealthy. They're living the life. They're living large on our backs. So when you think of flipping the script, I want you to see that pyramid and I want you to flip it. So we, the people, are back in power. I don't work for anybody except we all work for a company if we have a job, right? We work for somebody. Ultimately, though, who is the authority in your life? Who do you answer to? Who's in charge? Who runs? Who's is anyone running game on you? I don't even know really what that means, but I hear it. It's like the young people say it. So for all the young people, who's running game on you? And are you having fun playing the game? Do you even know you're playing the game? Or do you just feel like you're going insane because you're not, because you're staying straight and narrow, you're staying centered and grounded, you're staying focused on what you bring to the table, focused on your physical body, your heart space, and we're all feeling it in our physical bodies. It feels something like, and this has happened many times throughout my personal spiritual awakening, where it's deep pain in the bones. And it's also, years ago I received the message that it's about hollow bones, and so that we have the ability to take flight. So it's like clearing. Hey, welcome, Kiva. Good day. Nice to have you here, sis. So you may be feeling tension, you may be feeling aches and pains in your bones, and it's just like, so what can you do to ease the discomfort? Because this is a big change we're going through. This is a massive shift we are going through, right? The nodes of the moon have just recently changed to Virgos and Pisces, which in my opinion is the healing axis of the zodiac, the walk we take with our very own heart in this lifetime. So how can you show up for yourself? You're not crazy to want to be peaceful and calm, and to want to experience ease and abundance and co-creation and live in harmony with sisters and brothers is not crazy. And yet it is the journey that begins with our relationship with ourselves, right? We can't go out there and be all these things to others when we can't even show up for ourselves. So that's what the window, this eclipse window that we're in, it's our ability to show up for ourselves, because our consciousness is, yeah. And it's funny that you say that, Rena, because I've been feeling some, what I recognize or remember as cramps. And I haven't had a menstrual cycle, and we're coming up to like, almost 5 years. Holy cow. I kind of miss it. But yeah, I've been feeling these cramps, and it's like, oh, that's weird. It's either like, your period's coming, or you're getting, the body's getting ready to push a baby out. And so the sacral chakra, what is the sacral chakra? It's our emotional storehouse in the body, right? It's that space where if we're not addressing our emotions, we repress them. And this is where it gets stored in the body between our hips. So perhaps as stuff is wanting to be released and come out, that's why we're feeling this cramping, this pain, this discomfort, right? And yet it's a beautiful thing, because at least it gives us um, a starting point, somewhere to look to where, what needs to be released. And stuff is coming up, emotional stuff's coming up. And for some of us women, remember, we received the message on, was it this past Saturday Night Live or the one before? Either way, it was one of the Saturday Night Lives, and the message came through like, don't be a hothead. So if we feel ourselves, and the energy about is reminiscent of the energy of 2012, where the divine feminine was pissed. And I have to say, as calm and peaceful for the most part that I feel, there is a level of irritation that's rising in me. And perhaps that's because um, perhaps the irritation comes from not really seeing many around uh, who have a similar sort of level of consciousness, perhaps as I do. So it can be very lonely, and perhaps we're feeling, um, yeah, perhaps we're feeling lonely. Yeah, I got a sister. I have a sister who sent me a video. She must have watched, what night was it? Let me see, because she just sent me a text with my one of my videos attached. So it was Saturday Night Live. Yeah, it was Mercury Retro Edition. Saturday Night Live Thrive Mercury Retro Edition. So the most recent Saturday Night Live. And then her message to me is, I've been a hothead! Exclamation point, exclamation point. So this is the message that's coming through. Remember, we still have Mars that's recently stationed direct. Now, Mars will not be back to the same degree that it retrograded back on December 6th until April the 19th. So again, we're still in this, it feels like the wobble period, right? Where Mars, where Mars is starting to move forward again. And Mars being in Cancer is all about the home and the family, right? So there's a lot of stuff. Hey, 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 hey. Perhaps the dogs are my irritation. Stop. Rex. Okay. So this is another. I am conscious of each thought and feeling that I manifest. Are these energies constructive or destructive? And remember, sometimes in order to constructively build, the destruction needs to happen first, right? It's like the tower before the rebuild, before the rebirth, right? The tower, the death, the rebirth. And so we're at this, it feels like many of us are at this sort of tower part, the final phases of the tower, and we're in the throes of the death phase of things, and then the rebirth happens on the other side of it. So be patient and gentle with yourself. This is a big message too. As my inner consciousness is reflected in my surroundings, I overcome my inferior emotions and negative thoughts to leave room for only those that are pure. I am mindful of what I create in this universe. In this way, I become an expression of the divine light. And what are inferior emotions? I'm stuck on that since I read it. What are inferior emotions? Is there such a thing of inferior emotions? Well, I would say, and again, I'm not an expert, I would say the inferior emotions are the negative self-talk, the things that we the things we don't tell other people, the things we don't say to other people, but we berate ourselves about. So I would say I don't really feel so much that there's inferior emotions. I feel that there are a lot of emotions that we haven't addressed that we feel. So um, this is our, hey, just one sec. I'm going to get the spray bottle. He seems to respond to that like a cat. Do you want the spray bottle? Oh, where's that bottle? I just have to say it. He knows. Um, so yeah, the inferior emotions, I wouldn't say that any of our emotions are inferior. what they what our emotions are perhaps the unhealed, repressed emotions. And many of us started to hide our emotions and hide the real you, me, early in our life. Okay, just a sec. Let me get this spray bottle. Thank you. Works like a charm. Oh, you leave her alone. Um, yeah, so it's those emotions that we began to hide early in age, right? And where the hothead comes from. So anger is a manifestation of unhealed pain, right? So if we're blocking stuff, we're hiding stuff, we're pushing stuff down, and then all of a sudden we pop off because the planets are doing something or someone's triggered us. There's an opportunity for us to reflect. And what is that? Am I really angry? It's usually hurt and sadness and, unresolved emotional pain. So this is where, like these messages that have come out for us: remain in the light, consciousness, and self love. This is the missing ingredient for so much. So, can we be patient with ourselves when perhaps we're getting a little heated? We're feeling a little hot headed. My advice and suggestion would be to show up for yourself. It says here, you're afraid to let go of something that is no longer working for you. There is a deep sense of duty or guilt, and you feel like you don't have a choice. The reality is that you do. And ultimately, doing what you know feels right in your heart will be the best for all concerned. Beautiful confirmation. And this is very much emotional waters reflecting. And we can see that perhaps it's a little fiery up here, although orange is the color of the sacral chakra. And here we've got the watery. It's a reflection. So is the reflection clear? Are we seeing clearly? Are we viewing ourselves and our current situation clearly? Yeah. And you know what? As one who lives from the heart space, as one who believes that the heart is our compass in this lifetime. I was actually shown a compass over top of my heart when I was given the name for my page, Wisdom of the Heart, um, which has been stolen from me in 2024. Many of you know that. But I was shown, when I was given that name, I was intuitively given the name, and then I was shown the compass on the heart. And there's a lot of even those of us who live from our heart can, through life circumstances and situations that happened, inadvertently, our heart can begin to shut down and we can begin to protect ourselves. And I have found that to be true. And I've really come to recognize that in the last week or so, since being back on my yoga mat, that I have, not completely, but I have protected, like kind of not shut it down, but perhaps it's not as open as it once was, if you know what I mean. Um, I don't know. It's weird because it's an interesting place to be in. And yet, again, I know every place where we are all the way along in our journey has purpose. And so as I continue to open up through my yoga practice, I'm sure more revelation and more clarity will arrive for me. So I'll understand what's going on. But life happens, and we get busy, and many of us are busy trying to survive, which seems absolutely ludicrous, right? This idea of trying to survive. It's like, were we born to try to survive on this planet, or were we born to thrive? Personally, I understand that we were born to thrive, and yet we've been born into this system that wants to keep us all at the bottom of the pyramid. Remember, when you see 6, 6, 6, 6, any number of sixes together, it's your reminder that you are one here to flip the script. You are the glitch in the matrix. We all are the glitch in the matrix. So, beautiful. It says here, if you want to experience a deeper kind of love in your relationship, you must both consciously and willingly surrender to one another. Feel and honor the sacred within each other. Be vulnerable and give yourself up to love each and every moment. In doing so, you will unite in love. You will feel alive, reborn with each breath. One loving thought can create a world of infinite love. And this begins. Yeah. Milo shows up. Our brother shows up and he gives us a zinger. Thank you, Milos. Milo said, no, we are the right program we are the right program in the old matrix. In the outdated matrix. And yeah, I agree with that. We are the seeds of consciousness that were born for this time to reestablish righteousness on this planetary realm, to anchor and ground ourselves and take responsibility for healing our heart, right? That's it. And if we do that, if we can commit to our path of service, which is self-service, which isn't selfish, right? It's not like we see a lot of selfish out there in the world. Service and doing the healing work and showing up for yourself first is not selfish. It's absolutely mandatory. Because otherwise, how do we materialize the experience of heaven here on earth? And all of you watching this, all of us are meant to have that experience, no doubt about it. So wherever you are in the range of ages in life, it's like, so you're meant to experience heaven on earth. You are meant to experience prosperity and abundance. You are meant to experience peace. And yet the missing ingredient is truly self-love, consciousness, right? Our ability to show up for ourselves, self-care practices on a daily basis. You're worth it. We are all so worth it. Don't let anyone else tell you anything else. We're here to reverse it, right? I think that some silly song. Anyways, it's not a song I really know. It's just I'm here. I can kind of hear it, but I don't know the words at all. Self-love is where it's at. Milo, the divine masculine, holding the balance, bringing the stability and security and support that we, your feminine sisters, need, deserve, and desire. Thank you, Milos, for showing up. We love you. We love you. Yeah. And those girls, those 3 daughters you have, I know I read for one of your beautiful daughters. Rena, I don't know, again, this may not be the place, but I'm saying the moon cup, the diva cup is where it's at. Grow those young maidens, those young women up to have a healthy connection with their moon flow on a monthly basis. This is powerful. I received the message many, many years ago, decades ago, that when all women began to return their blood flow to the earth in ceremony, that men would no longer need to shed blood in war. But, the patriarchy's not the smartest, right? They're warmongers, war pigs. Black Sabbath sang about it back in the day, the war pigs. And that's what we're seeing rally up now. Actually, Milos, how is it going over there in Serbia? I saw something that came across my feed that they were using sound cannons or some sort of weapons on peaceful protesters in Serbia. Oh, have you never heard the song War Pigs? Go look it up. Black Sabbath, War Pigs, and find a version here on YouTube with the lyrics, so you can read the words. But it's like, generals gather in their masses. No, in their masses, just like witches at black masses. Da-na-na-na-na. Plot destruction. Sorcerer of justice, something. I know it. Yeah, and that's what we're seeing. There's the war drum is being banged worldwide, and the only place that I don't hear the war drum beating are two places. U.S. is one of them, and somewhere else, but I'm not going to say it because, but like the war pigs are banging their drums, and the war pigs are old white men in their suits, old Middle Eastern men in their suits, whatever kind of men. It's men in their suits, friggin' war pigs that don't give a shit about our children. And what would be smart is all the women and men, all the alpha males and all the divine feminine women stand up and say, you're not taking our children. Because I can assure you, I will be one that stands up for mine. He's not going anywhere. And I hope other parents stand up for their children. No child's life should be lost in an old white men's war. Let them send their children. Let them go and fight each other. You notice they don't fight each other, but they fund both sides. Stop it. Full stop. I'm done. Yeah. Look at me getting all like, Frank would say, honey, you need a soapbox. Honey, you need a soapbox. That's what I'm hearing him say. He's almost like laughing at me. You go, girl. You go, girl. So a couple, how beautiful. Right. But, Frank, since he's come in, he did make me a portable podium. He made me a portable podium so I could, back in the day, when my laptop was working, which it's not now, it's getting the funds to get the battery replaced. Anyways, he made me that so I could go down to the lake and, have my laptop there and deliver, messages and connect from that space, portable. So he made me the portable podium. Plus, when I'm typing and stuff, when I'm doing extensive amounts of writing or typing, I like to stand up and do it instead of being seated all the time. So anyways, yeah. So this is the first card that came out here. And it says, you are a beautiful soul full of wisdom, compassion, and great love. If you feel trapped, it's because you have created your own bondage. It's time to free yourself of the guilt that has kept you feeling stuck and allow the sacred rhythms of life to flow through you once more. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Yes, we have created the resistance in our minds and our hearts, right? And in our body, we feel it in our body when we're trying to move forward and the hips are like, oh, I'm in so much pain. Dance, move those hips around, become a human pendulum and see how quickly things can release. I said to a friend yesterday at the workspace, she's got some renovations going on at home and stuff. And it's, when renovations are going on in your home, it can be a terse environment. And I guess, there was a little tension between her and her partner. And I said, you know what? Next time that happens, I want you to just stand up and go, hands up, baby, hands up. Give me your heart. Give me your heart. And she started laughing, but I'm like, no, try it, because it shifts the mood right away, because it's not her fault. Renovations are stressful. It's not his fault, but they have to find a way to work together. Right. So, it was hilarious. I'm like, just jump up and start dancing. It shifts everything. And that's what we really ought to, we are the power players, right? We are the ones that create the resistance. We are the ones that hold back the emotions, and then we're the ones that pop off and we look crazy, so be gentle, because this time we're in is it's wobbly. It's wobbly. And I would encourage you to honor the hermit that lives within you. We're in a universal 9 year. 9 is the hermit archetype. Honor that. And especially now with Mercury going retrograde, with Mercury retrograde now, it's so important. Yeah, it's a wobbly thing. It's almost like I used to always say, like, we're in this space between. And if you think about it, there's so many spaces between. We inhale, and naturally there's a pause at the top of the inhalation, and then the exhale flows naturally. And then at the bottom of the exhalation, there's a pause, and then the inhale, right? So there's always this space between, the space between breath, the space between the subway cars, right? And if you've ever walked between a subway car to a car, I haven't been on a subway in a long time, but if you're moving between cars, there's that wobbly space, right? Like, oh, the floor's, it's like a fun house. The floor is moving. Oh my gosh. So we're in this wobbly time. So in this wobbly time, it's really important for us to show up for ourselves and nurture and ground down. How can we settle the wobbles in our experience? Roll out your yoga mat, perhaps, and, or just go and lay down and breathe, get out to nature, whatever it is that supports you to feel less wobbly in a time that is collectively wobbly. Perhaps we can look at it like we are the ones to bring some stable energy, right? Someone said up there to be in your little bubble. Yeah, the wobble between train cars. It's true, right? You've all experienced it. Yeah. So yeah, that's true. And like the people feel like, we talk 3D, 5D. 3D, we're third dimensional, right? We were born into this third dimensional experience, and yet we also exist beyond this third dimensional experience. So let's envision our higher self in the fifth dimension, that 5D: unity, peace, love, compassion, understanding, prosperity, blah, 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 all these good things. And the 3D, where many of us are stuck, we're somewhere between the fourth, we're in the fourth D, where all this fighting is breaking out and all this kind of stuff as we move up. But Milo's hit the nail on the head. It's about our communication with our multidimensional self, with our soul self in the fifth dimension or higher, that if we can bring that in and ask for that guidance from our higher self, and then to take that and move out into the world from a more stabilized place. So our higher self, the soul star chakra, slightly above the crown, wants to come into the high heart chakra, which is our thymus gland, right? So the soul star comes in to the thymus gland, the high heart, and then we integrate, we ground that down and begin to co-create with the divine, this heaven on earth experience. And then it feels like, oh, we've got boobs. We don't want to see ladies' boobs. They're sexual things, don't you know? No, our mammary glands are there to support the feeding of our children. They've been sexualized, probably by the patriarch, right? Because we can see a man's boobs, it's not sexual, but to see a woman's boobs is sexual. Gosh, heaven forbid, right? Heaven forbid we look at a woman's boobs, or we see a woman's boobs here on YouTube. I could get banned for that. It's incredibly annoying, right? But again, that doesn't mean I want to walk around topless. Heaven forbid, no one wants to see that. like, most of us women with any level of self-respect and awareness would not walk around naked, right? We don't want you to look at our boobs either because we know what you're thinking. But what a sad state of affairs, right? And I remember when my son was young and I was nursing, and another woman was so like grossed out. She probably had a wet nurse, though. No, I'm just joking. But she was so grossed out that I was nursing, and she couldn't believe I would do it in her office. Like, what? Are you kidding me? The baby's hungry. I've got like a little towel over. You're not even seeing my boob. I'm feeding my child. You know? Yeah, isn't it? But the message here on this card is a new phase begins. Let's just do the two fingers here. There's boobs under there. A new phase begins and brings with it new opportunities. This is a lucky and prosperous time where much that previously seemed impossible is now possible. Doors previously closed now open. Your world is full of light. And what was the very first card that we received in this connection today? Remain in the light. No matter what happens, I remain in the light without becoming discouraged or hot-headed. I observe, I take time to think calmly and wisely, and I go forward with complete confidence, knowing that I will succeed through constantly nurturing my soul. I become a strong and solid being of light. You are all strong and solid beings of light. We are all solid and strong beings of light, and we were born to take flight. So it's time to release the pain and discomfort from the bones so we can hollow up and rise. So for those of you who are here, if anyone would like me to pull you an affirmation card, a Louise Hay affirmation card, let me know here. Otherwise, we're going to wrap this up. I will be back here tomorrow night live. Okay, Rena. For all of us, this is for all of us. As I say yes to life, it says yes to me. Yes, yes, yes. Life mirrors my every thought. As I keep my thoughts positive, life brings me only good experiences. Yes. Okay. So we're going to pull some affirmation cards for the trio of sisters. Okay. So what I was going to say, I will be back here tomorrow night live. I will, I don't know exactly what time I will be here, but I will do a live tomorrow night. And again, we'll talk a little bit more about the astrology because Kiva, your profile picture is the same. The same one that Frank had on his has on his Instagram, I think. I was trying to think of what it's called. My brain is gone numb. Drew a blank. Shoot. Fleur-de-lis. Yeah, it's that symbolism's all over the place. I think his was not quite the fleur-de-lis, but it had that, but it was more like, what's the one that like Poseidon holds? What is that thing called? Anyways, it doesn't really matter. Okay, let's get to pulling cards. So Rena, you were first. Affirmation card for Rena. This is from the Louise Hay affirmation deck. Yeah, saying that one and that one. Okay. Rena, freedom is my divine right. I am free to think wonderful thoughts. I move beyond past limitations into freedom. I am now becoming all that I am created to be. I turn every experience into an opportunity. Each problem has a solution, S-O-U-L, lution. All experiences are opportunities for me to learn and grow. I am safe. Trident. Yes, that's it. Thank you. Trident. Yes, thank you. So Rena, those are your affirmation cards. Those are wonderful affirmation cards. I turn every experience into an opportunity. Freedom is my divine birthright. And here again are the messages on the back if you want to screenshot them for yourself. Yes. Awesome. And what I'm feeling with this card, Rena, is some spiritual practices. Whether it's writing at the end of the day, it could just simply be, a gratitude journal, which is an amazing thing. It could just be a journal, writing your thoughts and, what's coming in at the end of the day, or perhaps at the beginning of the day when you have your coffee or whatever, starting your day. It feels like some sort of writing is a part of what's going to be supportive to you at this time. Okay, so look, Luna is literally standing in front of Rex now, wagging her tail, taunting him. I mean, I guess they're just doing what they do, right? Okay, so Rena. Kiva, right? She's in heat. Luna's in heat. And Rex is an intact male. So, right? Just doing what, I guess she's at the stage now because, right? She's at the stage now where, like, she's been taunting him for a couple of weeks now, like being super friendly. She's usually such a little bitch to him, super friendly. And now she literally stands right in front of him and fans her tail. And then he does, some licking or whatever. It's so whatever. But now I guess if we were, if she was going to have puppies, now would be the time she's open to receive the male. So it makes it a little chaotic around here for a few days. Hopefully it's over soon. Okay, Kiva, here are your cards, sister. I am flexible and flowing. So let's just see what the two affirmations are. I am flexible and flowing. I am beautiful and everybody loves me. Or we could just say, I am beautiful and I love myself and everyone loves me too, right? I think it's important to add ourselves in there. Yeah, she is receptive now. How long is this going to last on? How long do they stay receptive? I'm so over it. I told Jacob and Rex they got to be gone. I can't do this anymore. And yeah, so I radiate acceptance and I am deeply loved by others. Love surrounds me and protects me. I am open to the new and changing. Every moment presents a wonderful new opportunity to become more of who I am. I flow with life easily and effortlessly. So, Kiva, those are your two beautiful affirmations. I like I am flexible and flowing. I like them both. And this one, the beautiful and everybody loves me, is speaking about that movement again, right? Like showing up for ourselves. If we're feeling stuck, things aren't moving, we start moving. Stand up, baby, or hands up, baby, hands up. Just start dancing. Start moving it around. We can do this. We are here to flip the script. We are the seeds of the consciousness of Christ, the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning, the end, all of it, the eternal nature of things. We are, as a soul, spiritually, we are eternal, and our nature in this lifetime is temporary as human, right? Good. Okay, so we've got we've gone through a couple weeks of this without much incident, and it's yesterday furniture started moving and blah, 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 blah. So the end is in sight. Thank you for confirming what I knew, Dawn. I was just hoping you would say a day. Yeah, we are temporary. Our souls are eternal. So, like in the big scheme of things, in the vessel, it's the question ought to be, how important is it? How important is this? What impact does this have on the essence of my eternal soul, right? And, it's a courageous act to live with the awareness and knowing that we are eternal, right? Because how we live with that awareness in the here and now is going to look different to how most live, in the as much as we're meant to be in the moment, most people in the moment self-service for personal gain, right? We're in the moment self-service for eternal reward. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's not. And yet it's what we came for. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Miss Mo. Oh, Miss Mo, you got 3, and the third one is a joke. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. I release all criticism. Yes, of course. And this is where we were talking earlier about we are the ones that restrict our own movement. We are the ones that hold ourselves captive in our mind, in our thoughts. I release all criticism. I only give out that which I wish to receive in return. My love and acceptance of others is mirrored to me in every moment. How beautiful. You know what, ladies? I love you all so much. You are amazing. I feel so blessed to have you in my life, to have you, although we've never met in the flesh, like to have you here. And I just love you. Thank you so much for showing up, because like through you, it's like we're all mirrors, right? We're all mirrors for one another. And it's a beautiful thing. Hey, Jen, welcome, sis. If you want a card, let us know. I'm pulling cards for those who are here now. Yeah, I mean, the key is not to take ourselves too seriously. I am a Virgo. I tend to be everything. Like attacks like attracts like. We don't attack each other. We don't attack each other. That's what they do out there. It's so tacky. But yes, in your 50s, I think what it is, when I turned 50, by that point Frank was dead. I was single. And that may sound harsh for someone who's new here. Like to say he's dead. Frank transitioned in 2018. I was 48. He was 53. And, then moving to the next decade into the 50s. And now, coming up to my 55th, my next birthday, I'll be 55. I feel like what happens in your 50s is you realize I'm still, the essence of who I am is still here. All this stuff has transpired, all these things have happened, and yet here I still am. And so I think in your 50s, it's like, you know what? It's time to really start doing it. It's time to stop playing small. And many of us have played small and held ourselves back for various reasons. We all have our reasons or excuses. So we hit 50, or we hit, even perhaps for me, a little closer to 55. And it's like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to be me. You can like me or lump me or not like me, or you can love me or whatever. It doesn't matter. I love who I am. And, I know what I personally bring to the table. And I know what I personally bring to the feast of the collective. And there's going to be those who appreciate what we bring and what we have to share. And there's going to be those who don't. And like I've shared with you before, I have my beautiful friend. He's in his mid 80s. He's 83 now. And he says to me all the time, lisalyle, God is not done with you. You are here to do great things. And yeah, we come into our own, and it's like, you know what? No more. I'm not taking it anymore, because if I don't bring to life what I have known to be right and true for me and to be my intended experience, who the heck is going to do it? No one. Right? And, so I'm doing it. So this is my beautiful friend. He wrote this book. I've mentioned it many times to you before. I scooped a second copy from him when I was visiting him last week. I don't think there's a picture of him in here. Let me see if I can find a picture of my friend for all of you so you can see the sweetness. Look, it's 1212. And then I will get back to your other card here, Dawn. And it's Jen, if you're here and you want a card, let me know. But I need to find this picture of my sweet friend because I talk about him so much. And where are my pictures? Jeez. You know, when you want something to go. So yeah, we're not here to criticize ourselves. We're not here to be hard on ourselves anymore. We're not, we're not here for any of that. Where is, oh, there, look, it's that. It's right there. Jeez. It's on my urine review. Close. So you can't really see, but there, what's this? They're putting, oh, this is the thing your phone does for you. Anyways, that was me and Uncle Mickey, Mr. White. Look at how cute he is. Right? He's adorable. I love him. And he's so good for my soul. He, and I think I'm good for his too. He helps me so much and he encourages me. He's like, he's like an uncle I never had. Yeah, he's so cute. He's so cute. So, Dawn, I release all criticism. The second card you got in healing, my healing is already in process. Yes, of course it is. And the fact that you all continue to show up here. Oh, look at that. We got 6 live viewers and 6 thumbs up. What does that mean, everyone? We are here to flip the script. 6. We are here to flip the script. Right? Remember that. And then it was 10101. Yes, we got this. And it says, my willingness to forgive begins my healing process. I allow the love from my own heart to wash through me, cleansing all and healing every part of my body. I know I can. I am worth healing. Yes, yes, yes. 6, flip the script. 6, flip the script. And then Dawn, your third card. Anyone have any guesses? We've seen it already. As I say yes to life, life says yes to me. As I say yes to life, life says yes to me. Yes, yes, yes. Life mirrors my every thought. As I keep my thoughts positive, life brings to me only good experiences. Yes, yes, yes. So Jen would like a card. If anyone else is here who I haven't pulled a card for yet, let me know. Repeated cards are so serious, right? And we had that for the very first card. It flipped out before we pulled Rena's card, right? So this is confirmation that everything's fine. Say yes to life. Life wants to say yes to us, right? Say yes to your coming out. Let's look at spring as like around the time of Easter. Let's look at this as our coming out. Let's have a coming out party, right? It's almost like we have hit, they do those bat mitzvahs or bar mitzvahs and what are they? For the Latinos, there's one, quinceañera, I'm coming out. I want the world to know, got to let it show. Diana Ross, I'm coming out. Yeah, let's do a spring party. We're going to do a spring party. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to create an event and we're going to dance and we are going to party because we are coming out. And that song is going to be like the number 1 song for us. Play it. Play it after you listen to the War Pigs. Love that. Yeah, we are doing it. We're doing it. We're doing a spring fling, everyone. Spring fling. Okay, Jen, let's get to this. Whoa, yeah. Okay, I'm not going to take those. We'll see another dance party. Look at this. And then Luna turns around. It's a good boy, Rex. Leave her. They're both looking at me like, oh, what's going on? All right. Jen. One more for Jen. Okay. So the first one, Jen, is I am totally adequate for all situations. And what I'm seeing and feeling here is like there's a need for you to get to nature, to get out there, enjoy yourself, stabilize your energy, get grounded. Oh, when your little dog's in heat, use a spray bottle to keep the big dog at bay. Yeah, this really feels like getting out to nature, really just appreciating the present situation, the wobble. Remember, we're in this wobble. We're all wobbling right now. Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. If you know, you know. I am willing to change. Yes, transformation is underway. We're already doing it. Thank you. Yeah, wobbly. We talked a lot about the wobble earlier in this message. There was a I didn't read all that. Yeah. So we're in the transformation. The wobble is real and it's going to be wobbly for a while, probably until around April, maybe even into May, but certainly like mid to late April, things should settle a bit. But as we're wobbling, how can we ground ourselves in the wobble? Nature helps. If you can get bare feet, I have bare feet now, but I'm only in the house, right? I'm only in the house. So, you know, yeah, that's what I'm feeling. It says, I am one with the power and wisdom of the universe. I claim this power, and it is easy for me to stand up for myself. Yeah. I mean, and it's not easy to stand up for yourself. Like some of you know, I was tag teamed at work on my Monday, so Thursday. So this has been an intense week. Today's Friday for me. But I was tag teamed by the director and the head of HR at my place of employment on Thursday due to my arthritic hands. And, anyways, you know, as much as I stood up for myself, yeah, yeah. Oh, Layla, you got me on my knees. And actually, with my arthritic thumbs, it's so hard to do my snapping. I'm a big snapper. I will indeed. Um, but yeah, so the wobble is real. The standing up for ourselves is challenging, and yet we can do it. That we can do it. Yeah, I know, but I have arthritic thumbs, Layla. It's hard to snap with arthritic thumbs. So, you know, just be gentle with yourself, Jen. That is the big message as you're going through these changes. And it says, I am willing to release old negative beliefs. They are only thoughts that stand in my way. My new thoughts are positive and fulfilling. Yes, yes, yes. And here it says, I am one. Oh, we'll read this again. I am one with the power and wisdom of the universe. I claim this power, and it is easy for me to stand up for ourselves. And so, if there's situations in your life, Jen, where you're being called to stand up for yourself, I want you to envision the support of this community right there with you, standing with you. And we can do it. It's not easy. And perhaps our voice shakes, and we may feel even more wobbly when we're, you know, especially in a situation. I felt very ambushed. And anyways, I stood my ground, my holy sacred ground. If we don't stand up for ourselves, who will? Not many people. This is where we learn. Yeah. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. Yeah. I'm targeted because I stand up for myself. I'm a middle-aged woman. And, you know, it's really ridiculous what they're pushing and pushing me to do when they've hired someone 30 years, my junior, and they have an exemption from doing this aspect of the job. Can you call bullshit? I can, and I will. So, okay, good. Awesome. Awesome. Sorry for swearing, Layla. I try not to swear so much. Okay, so Layla, we're getting Miss Layla a card. Layla is Rena's daughter, Rena's eldest daughter. We love Rena and we love her daughters. Okay. So here we go for Layla, some affirmation cards. Oh, there we go. Ah. Yeah, my thumbs, it's weird. It's I don't drink milk. Um but I have bought I'll show you just one sec. Where's the other thing? I did buy myself this to take. It just came. I haven't started taking it. So we'll see if that helps. Ultimately, the big issue is um, pushing and pulling with my hand. It's. I don't have the strength. That's awesome. I feel like the yoga has helped me a little bit because when you're doing things like tree pose, not tree pose, like downward dog and stuff, I've really focused on like stretching out my fingers and really because the thumbs tend to get like wonky sometimes and they'll be like, oh. But it's been going on for a long time. What is this? This is I got it on Amazon. I haven't tried it yet, so we'll see. Boswellia. And it says, used in herbal medicine as a natural anti-inflammatory, helps to relieve joint pain associated with conditions such as arthritis, rheumatism, helps reduce joint stiffness. So, take in the morning on an empty stomach, shake before use within 30 days after opening. So, you know what? Here, I'm probably I was gonna have a shot with you, but oh, there we go. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, it smells like a lot of the herbal things. I'm assuming this is okay. That doesn't look so appetizing, but it's kind of like red. So let's just try it. I like it. Yeah, 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 yeah. I will absolutely. I'll let you know. And I also bought Milos and Dawn. I think mentioned it to me. Capsaicin, caps. It's peppers anyway. It's made from peppers, and I bought a hand cream, so I've been rubbing it on my hands. I haven't felt a ton of relief, but we'll see. Right? We'll see. Okay, back to Layla. We got one card for Layla. We're working on number 2. Okay, so the first card that came out, Layla, is I release all criticism. This just came for Jen, didn't it? I release all criticism. I only give out that which I wish to receive in return. My love and acceptance of others is mirrored to me in every moment. Yeah, that's the stuff I bought, Dawn. By the way, according to sound healing, that issue is a throat chakra release, the thumbs. Wow, isn't that very interesting? Okay. And here is the second message for Layla. I listen with love to my body's messages. My body is always working toward optimum health. My body wants to be whole and healthy. I cooperate and become healthy, whole, and complete. And Layla, the reality is you already are healthy, whole, and complete. This is more about this energy of self love and showing up for yourself in ways that no one will ever do it. And as a young maiden, you're a young maiden. And as a young maiden, it's so important. I love that Rena has 3 daughters because this is a perfect role model for the divine feminine, right? Female empowerment. Now, that doesn't mean there's not value in the masculine energy. There absolutely is. 666, we're here to flip the script. There absolutely is. And it's about the sacred feminine, really like honor your femininity, honor all the changes that are going on in your body, all the things that you're feeling, and find a way to support yourself, right? Because I know how it is to be 18. I mean, although it was quite some time ago, I still can remember it was 1988 when I was 18. I can still remember, there's so much going on, so many changes in our body, and we're in this space between being a child and being an adult, right? And in some ways we have adult privileges, and yet in many ways we're still children. And so this is really about, yeah, I know, Layla, come back, Layla, come back, bring your sisters. But it's so important for us as young women to have a healthy relationship with ourselves before we start getting so much in, say, relationship with boys or whatever our tickles our fancy. It's so important. I would strongly encourage you to focus on you, focus on the things that make you happy. Speak nicely to yourself. No one else hears those things you say to yourself. So perhaps writing these affirmations down on some sticky notes, and then sticking them around, like on bathroom cupboards, on, whatever it is, about the mirror in your room, and really taking heed of what your physical body is asking of you. I'm just trying to look back at some of these cards here and see if there's another one. Yes, this is the one they want me to share with you as well. These two. And it says here, a new phase begins and brings with it new opportunities. This is a lucky and prosperous time where so much that previously seemed impossible is now possible. Doors previously closed now open. Your world is full of light. And this, for all of us, oh, yes, 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 awesome. I'm so happy, Layla, because you know what? I'm glad you're getting it at 18, because the longer we stay in these situations, the more damaging it is to us. And once a cheater, always a cheater, right? Yes, us older ladies know that. And so it's really, I love that you have left that cheater. You deserve so much more. Do not cheat yourself, and do not settle for anything less than you deserve. You are a lady, and you deserve like a lord. Let's say, if we're going to, Shakespearean times, the ladies and the lords. And this is so, as women, we have work to do, and the men also have work to do, right? And unfortunately, I find that it's more challenging. Well, it's actually challenging for a lot of us, but there's a lot of men out there that are addicted to various hubs that show activity that is really degrading to women and all who participate in it in that format. So, we do have an epidemic on this planet, and it is yeah. Nice. I love it. Layla, I love that you're here. And, I don't want to get to, my son's kind of hovering around because we have to go to the grocery store before I go to work. Um, yeah. Yeah. The gross hubs. And, there are many addicted to it. And actually the big one here originates in Canada. It's friggin' disgusting. Yes. Yeah. And we all do. We all deserve the kings, and we are all queens. And once we acknowledge that, yeah. Um, but that hub originates here in Canada. And I made a post recently, because people post about it as if it's a joke. And I always post about how it's perpetuating harm of women and children. And some man commented, "Oh my gosh, what about men?" And I said, "Well, if you were harmed by that industry, I apologize." And he goes, "Oh yes, I was so harmed when the mail lady came to the door." And I'm like, you know what? You're an idiot. you're an idiot. You don't get it. And, unfortunately, there's a lot of that mindset. And so, Layla, thank you for breaking the chains, breaking the binds, and coming into your own. And, I think it's awesome. And here is the final message for Layla, and in fact, for all of us as we close out this live. Thanks so much, everyone, for being here. And I will be back here tomorrow evening, and we'll talk a little about astrology. And we also will, I'll likely pull some cards and stuff. We'll see how it goes. And for those who haven't seen it yet, there was an interactive message put out yesterday, Messages for Now, What Your Angels Want You to Know. So check that out. It's a left, right, or center, pick a card reading. And so this, for all of us to close this out, thank you all so much for being here. And here is our final message. You are a beautiful soul, full of wisdom, compassion, and great love. If you feel trapped, it's because you have created your own bondage in heart and mind. You see how I did that? Heart and mind. It is time to free yourself of the guilt that has kept you feeling stuck and allow the sacred rhythms of life to flow through you once more. No. Anyways, I see you. I feel you. I love you all. I feel so blessed to have you in my life. Honestly, your presence here is a gift. And I look forward to connecting with you again real soon, possibly tomorrow night on the live. Until then, I want you to go out there and have a great day. Maybe we should just end this with a couple of ohms, 3 ohms together. You are all so very welcome. Thank you for showing up. And we're just going to close it with 3 ohms. Nice big inhale. Thank you, thank you, thank you.